floor now!
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you will ever listen to. We are the creators of the Spooky Pit, the innovators of the Passion Bump, and we take you down the darkest rabbit holes of all things horror.
Welcome, spooky bitches. We review horror movies and fucking with comedy. We are your final bros, Brian Hopwood, Rasta, and Shane. I have a clan, not a clam, Smith, and we are not joined by Jen because she is still on vacation, but we are reviewing one of the best movies of the 2000s.
Yes, the Uwe Boll classic, Alone in the Dark.
We have previously reviewed House of the Dead. I think it was the first episode this year.
Yeah, it was.
Which was Uwe Boll's movie that came out in 2003. He primarily does video game adaptations. This is no different.
All good ones.
Yeah, great movies. Renowned director. Everybody respects him. This movie is like a 10.
Yeah. This is right up there with like
Shawshank?
I was going to say Blood Rain, but yeah, like this, it's like when you think of some of the best movies of all time, like
Sure.
Godfather or like Shawshank or like Seven or like
Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, it's like it's there. Like Hereditary, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, you know.
House of the Dead.
No, House of the Dead's pretty bad.
Yeah, this movie, Alone in the Dark, is a video game adaptation. I don't know specifically which one. I only played one game ever called Alone in the Dark, and it was for fucking 3DO.
Yeah, and that had purple winged creatures jumping through windows.
Which in this movie has creatures jumping through windows. I don't know if that's the adaptation.
All right, so this is the one thing. We're video gamers, but we're not Alone in the Dark players, so I don't actually know any backstory on the video game. Probably should have did some research. Didn't.
Well, Uwe Boll has this thing where, like, he has his own idea, and then there's the video game.
Yeah.
And there's really no adaptation besides having the name of the video game for the movie.
Yes, or a character's name.
Like, for instance, House of the Dead. There's a Father Castillo. It's a big part of the movie. Is he in the video game?
No.
I can't remember.
He's not.
You said Kurian is.
Kurian
You find out about Kurian at the very end of the movie that Rudy is named Kurian.
Yes, and Kieran's the main villain in like House of the Dead 2.
But like, how does that even? He's the protagonist. Of the
that makes no
movie.
sense. It makes no sense.
So stupid. In any case, this is not that kind of a movie. This is a movie that stars Christian Slater, Tara Reid, and Stephen Dorff.
And I don't think this is slander, but I'm pretty sure this is mid-alcoholic Christian Slater. It is, right? During the prime of like his alcoholism.
But I want to get the guy that's just fucking sweating out proof, like fucking 10% proof.
He sweats in this movie a lot.
I mean, of course he's gonna sweat because they're fighting these creatures that really can't be seen by sight. They're more like you got to like be able to trace them.
Well, we gotta get into Afghani lore.
The Afghani.
They say it like that all the time. Are you supposed to be just like the Afghani?
The Afghani. But it's funny because the way Christian Slater talks like this, and he's like, the Afghani. Yeah, he calls him the Afghani, and everyone's like, the Afghani.
Yeah. Tara Reid's delivery is really good in this movie.
Horrible delivery. Like,
you're going to say horrible.
Every trope about Tara Reid, you may think is like a little bit too much, and then you watch this movie, and it's like, yeesh.
Yeah, and Stephen Dorff, this is Stephen Dorff, like, coming off of Blade, right?
Yeah, because Blade was late 90s, right?
Was Blade 2000? Where was Blade?
Was it 2000?
It's
like on that cusp, but this is 2005.
Yeah, okay, so this was after Blade. So he was basically like, I can just overact and get a paycheck now. I was awesome in Blade.
Yeah, no, he was like... I'll be honest with you, after House of the Dead was made, how could you take this movie?
I know. And he got
how could you good faith take this movie?
And he got 3, I mean, they're bigger, not like huge, but they're like actors, well-known actors.
I mean, Christian Slater is pretty big.
And Dorff's not like small, and Tara Reid's coming off American Pies.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
She was hot then. This is before...
She's attractive.
Yeah, then.
Her acting is horrible.
It's
horrible,
so bad.
She's bad.
All right, so you want to just like
jump in?
Yeah, let's just fucking Spooky Pit.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Alone in the Dark released in 2005, like I said. This movie stars Christian Slater as Edward Cairnby, Tara Reid as Eileen Cedric, Stephen Dorff as Richard Burke. To sum this movie up, pretty much, Stephen Dorff doesn't wear a helmet, and there's also the Upcani. Directed by Uwe Boll, like we mentioned. I'm probably certain this is not the last movie we'll review by Uwe Boll.
No.
But we'll dread every single one.
We have to do Blood Rain at some point.
It's the best tit suck scene of all time.
It's also just Michael Madsen. Like, we talked about Shark Season on Final Friday, but I want to talk about Michael Madsen just giving up.
In all fairness, Blood Rain is the movie that single-handedly created our passion bump.
It is.
With that tit suck scene across the jail cell.
So, like, that's one when we do, Mike G has to be on. Because
I'll get Mikey on.
Yeah, he that's where he invented. He's like, that's where he's like, I have to bump this movie up because of the passion of the tit suck.
This is a passionless movie.
Yo, yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing about it. No. Like,
Stephen Dorff doesn't fucking wear a helmet. He's got to show off his hair.
Yeah. Jeez. So basically, we get like scrolling text to open this movie.
For fucking ever.
Yeah, I thought
it doesn't end.
I thought about that too.
I'm like, holy shit, this is such a long text to lead a movie in.
It goes on for so long.
The plot is so fucking uninteresting. To sum it up, there is this Native American civilization that is lost to time called the Abkhani, who lived tens of thousands of years ago, right? And they believe that there was this dark world and this light world that could simultaneously kind of like coexist through this gate.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much lost to time. But this scrolling text goes on for fucking ever.
It goes on longer than that tribe existed.
That's a fact. Like, literally, it's a fact.
It's bad.
Yeah, and they mentioned some other stuff too, but that's pretty much all you need to know. Is like, there's this old time civilization. They hold certain secrets and artifacts that people are currently looking for that hold weight to. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is a antagonist in this movie. I don't even know what the fucking guy's really looking to do. I really don't.
Oh, his motivation isn't
declared, right?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know. Is it like just to take over the world? I feel like that's like that's a cartoon. That's a cartoonish tactic.
But he's not trying to take over the world. He's trying to let the creatures take over.
He's trying to let the dogs out.
Yeah, no joke. Because some of them look like dogs.
He's trying to fucking be the Baja Man.
This is a movie about the Baja Men's takeover.
Literally, there's no point for him to do anything. He just wants to be evil.
There is a scene that comes out of nowhere. They just go to him, and he's just injecting. Like the creature blood into his veins.
He's injecting people and then he just starts injecting himself.
But why?
I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. It fucking drives me nuts. This movie has got no course. It's got no point. There's no point for this guy to do anything.
Because also, like, Christian Slater. All right, we learned like Christian Slater is in an orphanage when he's a child, but all the orphans are like being sold to the government. But like
20 of them.
Yeah, but Christian Slater like escapes.
He's the 1 out of 20 that gets away.
But he's still like
they call them sleepers.
Yes. But like so these sleepers eventually they have these like creatures that are attached to their spine that like make them like powerful or whatnot.
Find out this agency injects him with this, but like apparently he was electrocuted as a kid, so his didn't really like take effect.
Is that what happened?
That was like a fucking bullshit line he mentioned because when they do his
there's like a throwaway line then because like
throwaway line they didn't X-ray, they noticed that he was dead.
Yeah.
So he never was really active. So like when he got like a little remembrance, but there's a point where everyone gets activated and he doesn't get activated and he writes it off by saying he was electrocuted as a kid.
Okay, but like why? How do you even have it in him? Because doesn't it get put into them when they get taken from the orphanage and he's never taken?
So I guess they were putting it in them
while they were at the orphanage.
Yeah, at a point I think they sucked 20 of them, and they took those 20.
Worst nun of all time.
Oh no, that nun's literally a cunt.
Yeah.
She hoed 20 kids out.
Yeah, she did.
She fucking hoed 20 little boys and girls out.
It's sick.
One of them, Christian Slater's friend John.
Yes, we'll get to him. So Christian Slater is then on a plane scaring children, as I assume Christian Slater did most of the time.
Because he's an raging alcoholic at this time.
Yeah, and the kid's like, my mommy told me vampires aren't real. And
he's like, they are real. He's like, be scared, kid.
He's like, your mom's a lying whore. Everything is real. There's a monster on the wing.
I literally love this scene so much because the kid's so upfront and talking about the dark. He's like, my mom said there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no such thing as monsters. There's nothing to be afraid of in the dark. He's like, oh no, fear is very real, and it protects you from the dark.
Yeah. He's like, you should be afraid of literally everything.
Like, imagine talking to this kid as this guy as a kid. You'd be petrified.
Yeah, and your mom's just sleeping,
and you just fucking his breath smells like Heineken.
On a plane, it probably smells like fucking gin and tonic. He gets out. He goes into a cab by this guy who was in Freddy vs. Jason. And he's like, and then this is like the chillest cab driver of all time. Because he's like, you see that cab behind me? It's been following us for a few blocks. He's like, I thought so. Want me to lose him? And the cab driver has no issue going into a high-speed chase.
He's like, going to a high-speed chase, pulls into a fucking alley where he just gets fucking destroyed.
Yo. Okay, so the cab eventually gets hit. And I'm like, yo, that cab driver got fucked up. It hit the driver's side. And Christian Slater tells him to stay there. And then
he's like, duck. Like, go down.
But the car drives into the door. His head would have got smashed if he ducked.
And I think Christian Slater jumps out, right? Yeah. He's like, go, duck. I'm out of here. He's like, deuces.
And the guy gets hit, and that guy's got to be fucking toast, right?
He's definitely toast. He's fucking crushed.
So then Brian's favorite character comes out. This bald man in a fucking hat. Like what kind of hat? It's like a Cuban cigar hat. What are they called?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what the name of those hats are, but you're right. It's the kind of you're on vacation, you wear this hat.
Yeah, like I feel like Armando Alejandro Estrada from WWE is like chasing Christian Slater right
Facts. But this guy has a fucking mean face for everything.
Yeah.
He fucking chases them, and he like actually visually puts on a mean face to do anything.
Scowls.
And then there's a part where he's chasing him. He climbs a fence. He literally climbed the fence, and all of a sudden, gets mad doing it. Chases him, gets mad. There's a time where like fucking Christian Slater has to jump through a fucking a store. The guy just runs through the glass, into the window, and through the window pane.
Oh my god! It has the best scene because Christian Slater has this Upcani object in his hand, and the guy takes it. And then Christian Slater, from a laying down position, does a backflip bicycle kick off of the ground.
The whole idea is there's this doctor. His name is Dr. Hodgins.
Yes, Hodgins. I think it's Hodgins.
And there's this Christian Slater has this very, very priceless artifact that he got from Chile, which you'll find out later. And Hodgins knows this bald guy who's going to get the artifact and also killed Christian Slater for Hutchins. And this guy's got to be like some kind of a fucking otherworldly thing.
Yeah.
You don't really know too much at this point because Christian Slater actually shoots him.
Yeah.
And he just eats the bullet.
Just eats them.
And then you're like, okay, it's a fucking video game. And then he shoots him again, eats it, and the one bullet's clearly through his heart.
Yeah. And then they get into like a scuffle, and he'll like flip him over his head, and he'll get impaled, and that kills him.
That does get him.
Yeah. We'll learn why that actually gets him. So I'll give the movie credit.
Because it goes through the spine?
Yeah.
Yes. And this is like in broad public. Everyone's watching this. This is a market.
But that's the thing. And then Christian Slater just leaves?
Yeah.
No one, because it happens in a fish market.
Literally in the middle of a market that is populated with people.
So,
but Christian Slater sells the artifact.
So we'll also see now Hodgins is on a boat, and they're getting a chest out of the ocean,
and he's with another guy who I've seen in almost every other movie.
Yeah,
this guy's in a lot of movies.
The boat captain, right? Yeah, he's in everything. And then he's like, the chest is made of pure gold. I assume what's inside is very valuable.
Very, very valuable.
So they lock up Dr. Hodgins.
He literally turns on Dr. Hodgins, throws him in the cabin, I guess, locks him in there, and then opens this. It's called the Erebus.
Yeah. And they just get murdered.
And you don't really know what happens, but everybody's dead on board.
Yeah. They just all die. Then we see Tara Reid as a scientist, the profession we all assume she would be.
Yeah, without any emotion.
She's like, it's the Upcani tribe.
I hate my parents.
She's there with like fucking security guard and a delivery guy. Both fat, both the same character. I thought they
both fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to be the comic relief, and you could tell they're comic relief that's really trying hard to be comic relief. At least no one dies right away.
No, like, oh yeah, we'll get to that soon. So, Hodgins at one point also calls Tara Reid, and he's like,
"Oh God,
don't touch the artifacts."
She's already analyzing one. She's of like the things that got mailed to her.
Yeah,
like reading the translating the fucking thing that's on the artifact. Yeah. And she's, don't you fucking look at that? She's like, I'm your fucking assistant curator. Like, don't you fucking look at that?
Yeah. Then Slater's going to get a call that John is missing. We don't know who the fuck John is, but we kind of, he's the orphanage guy.
From his wife, but like apparently he had a relationship with this guy from the, because when you're in an orphanage and you don't have parents, you hang out with the boys and the girls.
Yeah, they're just all the boys and the girls.
And we all know, like, even though like you're from the orphanage and you're an orphan, orphans are fucking hot.
Yeah.
They're like peak mood.
Okay. Yeah, no, and orphans stick together.
I'm not saying like when they grow up, they become really
hot. No, orphans become hot adults. Did you see Christian Slater?
They're always a success. Every orphan is a success story. Yeah. Every single one.
Never been a failure that's an orphan.
No.
Except maybe John, because we'll learn about him soon. Didn't you know he was kind of a success? He became hybrid killing machine. He
became activated. When you become activated, you go fucking crazy for Hutchins, of course.
Yes. So Slater's going to go to like Tara Reid, who we find out they're like dating, right? I think he knocked off a USB on that one. I don't even know. Like they're dating, right? Tara Reid and
Carnby?
Yeah. Aren't they? Because she's like, my boyfriend's been missing for months. I don't even know where he is. And then he shows up and she slaps him in the face. And she's like, you haven't called me in months. I thought you were dead.
Yo, I didn't pick that up. Am I right? No. Yeah, you're probably right. I did not pick that up.
Yeah, I think
holy shit.
I think they're dating.
You're probably right. She does mention that about her boyfriend, that she hasn't seen him in a while.
It just dawned on you they were a couple.
Her reaction is so fucking bad.
Well, because she slaps him and she's angry, and then she just starts making out with him.
Yeah, so you're right, but it's like the 0 to 100 to back to 0 again, kind of.
It's fucking. She has bipolar disorder in this movie.
She's like happy to see him, and then just fucking whacks him across the face.
Yeah, and then she's happy to see him.
Slobbers on his cock.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Then they start talking about the Upcani tribes.
The Upcani.
And the lights start to flicker.
What is that?
It's honestly how she sounds.
Yeah.
The security guard is walking around, and you're like, okay, fat security guard in a flickering light mall.
He's dead.
He is dead.
He's literally dead. Like, this thing's going to crunch his face. He's going to smush his face. Yeah, you ever get your face fucking smushed?
It's kind of therapeutic, but yeah. So this guy's face is just getting fucking smushed to oblivion. A thing comes out of the back of his head through his mouth. Pretty wild. I thought it was going to crush its skull, but it didn't crush They
its
didn't
skull.
have the effects for that. No. Come on.
They tried, but they don't.
Then out of nowhere, Bureau 713 just starts breaking through the windows.
Bureau 713 is this organization. You'll find out that it's got a lot to play with Christian Slater's background in this movie. And it's also the leader of well, not the leader. I should say the person calling the shots.
Yeah, because he's not the leader.
He's not the leader. Stephen Dorff. He's calling the shots.
He's just the leader of like the military aspect of 713.
Yes, he enforces the police action, and he doesn't wear a helmet where everybody else does. So you know he's the leader.
Yes. So Burke and Canby have a pass. Carnby, not Canby. He's not Marcus Canby. Burke and Carnby have a pass here. They go a little back and forth.
Well, apparently
Slater was 713.
Slater was what Patrick Burke was. Patrick Burke.
Yeah. Wait,
I don't
no.
know his fucking name. Burke.
I think that's a basketball player back in the day.
Doesn't matter.
Just call him Burke.
He was what Burke was. He was what Stephen Dorff was before Stephen Dorff, and he left, and then Stephen Dorff took over.
Yeah. And they like Stephen Dorff in this movie is just always shouting.
He's literally just yells.
He just shouts his lines, and they like have a little scuffle, but it's just so Carnby could steal the access code. Then like Tara Reid just goes back to the museum. Like
she get back to work.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't. And then like I never know where anyone is at this point, because then Carnby goes somewhere to use the access code. But is he still in the museum? Does that guy that he visits have a spot in the museum? Like where are we?
Oh, you mean Fisher?
Yeah, because he's autopsying the body.
So like 713 should not have any they shouldn't have any offices in the museum.
No, but it seems like they do.
They definitely do, because the movie doesn't take place anywhere else. Well, at the ending, they go to like this mine, but they take place in the museum for the rest of the movie.
Right, it does. So they just have an autopsy room now in the museum, and like Fisher's like he finds like the fucking parasite on the spine that's controlling people.
And Fisher's like his only contact he has in 713
Yes.
from his past. He is the person he kind of like relies on to get information about like some of these other people that are sleepers. Yeah. He doesn't even know himself as a sleeper.
Yeah, well, this is where he finds out with the scan. They had one in his body.
So he learns a little bit about like basically they scan some of these bodies, and they're these fucking ginormous bugs that are like fucking included in their spine.
Yeah.
And it's like a symbiosis between bug and spine.
Yeah.
And they're active. They're live.
They're all live. The orphans are live.
The orphans are live. But they scan. Fisher scans Slater, and his is dead.
Yes.
And this is where he mentions, I don't know, maybe I got electrocuted as a kid.
All right,
when he was 10?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't remember what happened.
Yeah. So we both missed aspects of this movie, and we both watched it in full. So that's just how awful this is. We also learned that the bald guy, was actually a 713 agent from like 20 years ago who went missing. So
was it James Pinkerton or whatever?
He's one of the Pinkertons from fucking Red Dead. Or the Wild West. He was the original FBI.
Oh my god.
Then we cut to the scene of Dr. Hudgens just fucking injecting himself with creature blood.
Love it.
Yeah. Then Slater's gonna start to like, he doesn't go through some weapons. He's like, Fisher shows him weapons. He's like, this is a light gun. It shoots light bullets that can allow you to see.
It's like this photon luminescent things that like you flash a light, and the creatures. So there's like, remember the dark world and the light world for the Upconnie that they discovered? Yes. Part of the dark world is these fucking creatures that you can't see. You can only see them, or you can hear them, but you can see them only through this photon luminescent thing that Fisher talked about. So he's going to plug up their weapons with this light ray that kind of you can see them.
Yeah. And so that's that scene. I mean, it's nothing exciting. Then, though, Burke is going to go to Fisher and he's like, I know you saw Carnby. Give me all. It literally goes scene for scene. They don't like.
Well, he tells Fisher because like he's got this like feud with Carnby.
Yeah.
And Dorff's like, you're either your ass is grass, or you give me all the information on fucking Christian Slater and his alcoholism.
So the movie just keeps taking place now off of Fish, because then Fisher goes home.
Yes.
And his wife is killed, and then he gets a worm put in his mouth by Dr. Hudgens.
Yeah, and before, I mean, the Hudgens is now loose. He was locked up in the boat.
Yeah,
and but like when he eventually breaks through, obviously everybody on deck is destroyed because the air abyss is open. But he does look in the bottom. He like clicks a button in the air abyss is a coffin, and there's this little like fucking mechanism he takes out, this little tiny piece.
It's the final piece to the lock.
It is
for
the final
door.
piece to the lock, which you're like, what the fuck is this small piece? It's such a like an
insignificant
looking mechanism. You're like, it's nothing cool. It's nothing flashy. It's like a little thin, like stick.
It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. Then so Fish, by the way, once Fish gets infected, you don't see him again the rest of the movie till one scene towards the end, and he's in it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
And it doesn't even explain how that even. We'll get there. So now we go back to the mall. Jesus Christ, the museum, and the lights start flickering again because the whole movie's going to take place here. Yep. And then John attacks Christian Slater. And Christian Slater doesn't hesitate to just murder John.
Yeah, he murders him. And soon after he murders him, there's a bunch of the sleepers. Obviously now there's 18 different ones just walking around.
Question.
They're basically just activated humans.
Yes, question.
And they're orphans, so they're a little stronger.
Yeah. Why are they zombies, though? Why did their faces turn white with, like...
At the point of activation, not only do their faces turn a chalky white, they are solely moved by another type of... Like, they're solely motivated based on another person's motivation. Like, obviously, Dr. Hudgens, they're fucking different.
Why did their faces turn into zombie faces?
Why are they chalky white, and why do they act zombified? I have no idea.
Okay.
I can't explain that, Shane.
Okay. I just, thought I would ask. So this, like, really weird rock music just that doesn't fit into the scene starts playing. And you just see the most realistic bullets flying everywhere.
Is this when the fucking agents like pop down from the fucking glass in the ceiling?
I feel like it would have been more appropriate if like Dracula just started playing. It's like, yeah, I am the one.
So this movie was made 2 years after House of the Dead. And I think they were just trying to like recreate their brilliant action scene from 2 years ago.
It's actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It's so much worse.
Worse?
Than the House of the Dead action scene. I think this one is shot. I can't believe. Not that the other one was shot good, but this is shot worse. It's darker. It's like the CGI.
You can't see anything.
The CGI is fucking terrible.
The CGI of the actual creatures, they're like lizard-like, is fucking garbage.
Yeah, but even some of the kills are CGI done. Like you can clearly tell it's like an animated, like rip apart. It's so bad. At least
it's short. It's the only thing I can say.
It's short. Okay, yeah, because the other one is
it's like quadruple the length.
Yeah, because the other one's like 20 minutes long, and you just hear it. The House of the Dead.
I am Fury, bringer of in the house.
Oh my god!
This has a unique song too, and there's actually really bad shots because you just see like fake gunfire.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You can't see anything except for fake gunfire and like blood splatter.
It's like so terrible.
There's literally an overhead shot of just fake gunfire. There's like literally a scene of Christian Slater shooting somebody, and the shot, you can visibly see the bullet go over into the rafters of the building, and somebody die. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck.
Fuck.
Seriously? Fucking no.
Yo, there's also, oh my god, I forgot about that.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know the exact thing. It's just one guy, and you see the bullet fly over his head, and he just collapses.
It's false. Like, what the hell is going on here? And there's also another overhead shot of just an intersection of fucking yellow bullets. Like, it's just an intersection of bullets, and I'm like, jeez.
And literally, like, everyone's getting murdered except the main characters, and Miles, who's played by that guy who's in Chris
Sanderson,
every fucking Uwe Boll movie.
God, his pants were so baggy in House of the Dead.
Yo, but this one now he's playing Miles, which is I guess the second in command. To
he dies
eventually. We'll get to that, and his death seems confusing.
I mean, he's kind of brave. He goes in.
No, but like, I mean, like how he dies. Like the creature gets him, but you just see they don't show him like where the impact was, right? Like,
doesn't it get like hit from like front and behind?
Yeah,
and like
then they just
the creatures are off screen, and he just gets fucking bleeds everywhere.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand.
Probably Fury, bringer of the vengeance.
I am Fury. All right, so. What? Don't they just go to the cave now? Like, I don't even know how they know to go to this mine.
Bro, so they have this ginormous fight scene, and you're right. They have like this
There's a talk, but like, because now though, like,
now
they're boys.
literally a fucking flip of the switch. All of a sudden, Burke and fucking Christian Slater are best friends.
They're just boys.
They're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna helicopter, and we found out like this. I forgot the name of the mine, the Millennium Mine. I forgot the name of the mine. They're like, we got to go to this mine, and because what happens is they read the activity of these unseen creatures. Apparently they resonate it's called like zero activity. I forget the name of it, but they register their activity, and they've obviously killed them, so they're not here anymore. But they're registering a lot.
Okay.
That's how they even came here in the first place. Because how the fuck would they know to come here?
That's right. It was the activity meter.
And they're also they're seeing it at the mine. And now
that's why they go to the mine. I love how they just have a fucking activity meter.
They have a command center. Crash is the leader of the command center.
Pointless character,
Crash. Now they know that they gotta go to the mine.
So they go to the mine and they set up a perimeter.
Yes, like Miles is like leading the perimeter area.
And then it's going to be Tara Reid, why are they bringing her?
Why is a museum assistant curator going down into a fucking...
Because she's the Upconnie expert. She's the resident Upconnie expert.
Explored fucking mine shaft.
Because they don't even know Hodgins is bad yet. Right?
No, they don't. You're right.
Like, so anyway, the three of them are going to go with three fodder, and... They go through the mines, and the mines are trapped. Like, so there's a guy, Marco, and he's like, oh, look, dirt.
He's just like, oh my God, wait. He takes one wrong step and he's fucking toast.
Falls down into an abyss, gets spiked. There is a ladder, though.
And Burke's like, we got to go down there. So that's why they go down.
Yeah, so they go down, and they're gonna, like, I guess, rescue his dead body.
And this is where I'm confused, because now the ceiling is coming down, and I'm like, what ceiling?
Right. Yeah, because that wasn't up there.
I'm like, there was no ceiling up there.
It was fucking stalactites. Why is the ceiling just coming down now?
There's a fucking rando ceiling that formulated out of nothing.
Yeah, so it's gonna crush Marco. So if he wasn't dead, he's deader. And then... like, somehow a girl gets hurt.
Is that Chung? I don't know. I think
it's Chung. And her leg gets hurt, right?
She gets her leg injured. They try to help her, but now there's a fucking attack of these things.
Okay. This is fucking sick, this scene.
Do you remember the names of these things?
No.
It's an N. I forgot the specific name.
I truly don't remember.
But they're like, all right, we'll call them like these fucking lizard creatures.
But, like, this scene annoys me because, not that anything else hasn't, but, so the creature comes up out of the sand, and it, like, looks at them, looks back at her, looks at them. While she's on the ground.
Yes.
Why didn't they just shoot it?
I don't know.
They wait until it bites Chung?
Correct. And then Christian Slater kills it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Why they wait to see what it does? It's clearly, like...
they're like, this thing is clearly going to kill Chung.
Huge.
Yeah. And so they let it kill Chung, and then they kill it, and this is when Tara Reid delivers the best line in the whole movie.
Good Lord.
Tara Reid... stone face, never shows emotion. She's like, it says, if you've made it down here alive, you're already dead.
Awful. Because there's the like, transcriptions as they go down there.
That's the only reason she's down there, to read that one line.
The Upconnie information. Oh my God.
So then we're going to cut to the people up top, and Fisher's going to show up, run into the generator, and blow up.
Yes.
And that's it.
Literally, you're absolutely right. Fucking...
it's such a fast scene.
I mean, the only thing I could think of, obviously, the professor is, like, manipulating him.
Yes.
So he's just trying to... he's already... he's fucking already controlled by the professor.
But it's like, I just feel like it's weird that it's like you don't see him again between the control and like...
a while.
He blows up in 2 seconds. Like, to be fair, I was at a point where I was like, wow... they did that to Fisher, and we're actually never going to see him again in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I truly thought it was just going to be a dead storyline.
Yep.
And then I almost wished it was, because all he does is jump into a generator and blow up. Does he have a bomb on him?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the professor strapped him up. They never show that.
Yeah, but how's the generator blow up?
I have no idea. You're right.
I'm asking the hard
There is one scene of the professor unleashing hell on these minions.
Yes.
In the forest. And like that's literally it. There's no like motivation for the guy to do anything.
No.
There's no driving plot for the for the antagonist in this movie.
We don't know what his motivation is. Why is he doing this? Why does he want the Abkhani? They're not the Abkhani. These creatures. Why does he want Alone in the Dark to take over?
They're kind of like what the Abkhani was speaking of, like in terms of like a dark world.
Yeah.
Like,
so why does he want the dark world to take over? What does he benefit from the dark world taking over?
No.
There's no like. Does he even have lines other than when the end of the movie? Yeah. He talks on the boat. And does he actually ever speak again till the end of the movie?
No, I mean, you definitely see him take out Fisher.
Yes, but
he doesn't have a line.
You just don't know his motivation. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's the bad guy, and I don't even think Slater and Tara Reid know that yet.
He got a strong accent, and he's had like those rude remarks to Tara Reid's character.
Yeah.
Because like she was like doing the translation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to be disrespectful to you.
Yeah. So the creatures are going to break the perimeter now that the generator's gone. And like, to be fair, the soldiers are like lighting these creatures up.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of shocked. Like, how don't they win? Because it looks like the creatures are like getting pelted.
Destroyed, yeah.
But the creatures just destroy them now. There's just bodies being thrown, grenades are blowing up. Everyone's dying.
I mean, you see them getting lit up, but there's really like no limit to the amount of them there are.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
They don't even give you an accurate number how many there could be.
But that's another thing. If the door hasn't been opened yet, how are there that many of these creatures out?
I don't know. He's just fucking... Apparently, you can create these things by just injecting fucking bugs into spines.
Okay.
Because like he literally starts injecting people with stuff. A little spine bug.
Yeah, but they don't turn into the creatures, do they? They just stay as a human host.
As a zombie?
Yeah.
I think... I don't know. It seems like it turns some of them into
creatures. Okay, so maybe it's like hit or miss. There's no development. Yeah.
There's no like really like deep.
And this isn't like a less is more thing. This is like nothing is explained thing. Like this is a movie you need to actually understand how things work.
This movie does a lot of explaining. It does tell you a lot of irrelevant shit without going into depth on any specific
how it works.
thing.
Yeah,
correct. Like it's not a complex movie. It just covers a lot of stuff that doesn't have any depth to it.
Right. So then up top, there's two characters left, Miles and a random chick named Feenstra.
I know he calls Miles in.
Yeah.
He calls him to come in down. He calls him to come in because like he's secured the perimeter and he wants him to come in to help.
Yeah, but he can't because he's got to look for Feenstra first. And he finds Feenstra and her head's like split open.
Yeah.
And this is when Miles gets murdered and everyone is dead now. There is no top. So... Then the three main characters and last fodder get into a room. It's the lab room. And this is when they learn that 713 has been the
culprit the whole time.
So, okay. This is a please explain to me. You're not going to be able to.
I'm so drunk I can't even stand up straight.
Yeah, but that's why you're not even going to be able to explain this if you were sober.
Sure.
713 did all these experiments on the orphans and start the whole thing.
Yeah.
They lost Christian Slater.
Yeah, he got electrocuted.
But they hired Christian Slater to work for them later on. Did they know he was the missing orphan?
I have no idea. My guess. How would you not?
Right?
They would have inserted the fucking thing into him.
Right.
They had to know he was the missing orphan.
Yeah. But then why did they hire him, and why did they fire him?
And it makes sense that he got electrocuted. He was fucking hiding in like
the high voltage
unit,
which that's always outside of an orphanage.
Yeah, literally like a fucking ginormous fuse tent.
It's a fucking. There's just a transformer field outside of the orphanage.
Yeah.
The guy is getting electrocuted from fucking one of those Halloween movies. That is what I imagine was happening here. It's fucking... None of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
And it makes so little sense that Stephen Dorff is like, my guys are fucking dying out there for nothing! My fucking guys are dying! It's how he talks! They're fucking dying for nothing! He flips the table over. I fucking love Stephen Dorff in this movie.
Oh, me too. He's so animated. Even like towards the end of the movie, bro, he gets so animated. He like just fucking starts firing shots off because he knows they're invisible.
Dude.
Fires shots off, takes his sweet ass time, fucking survives major infernos.
Oh, we'll get there in a second. So anyway, Hudgens is going to show up. He's going to fire some shots, only hits Fodder in the head, and he's dead.
But he fucking dies.
Yeah.
Like right away. Stephen Dorff fucking tosses a knife right to his fucking heart and he's dead. Like that's it. He throws a knife at his heart and he's fucking gone.
It's so...
The antagonist is dead.
It's so... Yeah. So they find the door that is to the dark world.
Yeah,
and
you're right. It's the gate to the dark world and...
He takes Tara Reid as a prisoner. For a second.
Yes. Because Christian Slater... Well, the idea is he can open the dark world... like the gate to it, but he decides like it may not be the best interest because it will release secrets.
Yeah.
That even though like it would be like what he's searched for his entire career, the Abkhani probably didn't want that opened.
Right.
And we do find out that he wouldn't have been able to open it anyway.
Without the key.
Because that little piece that he got in the Erebus was what's needed with the artifact.
Great writing by Uwe Boll.
So you needed that whole time Christian Slater spent in his backstory. I don't know however long, how many years he spent navigating Chilean merchants to find the fucking artifact.
He was missing.
And then the Erebus where he finds this little key in the bottom of it, this little piece to connect both of them. But yeah, I mean, like Stephen Dorff throws a fucking knife in his heart.
And just Hodgins is dead. Without us ever knowing his motivation.
No.
But before he was stabbed, he did open the door. So we see the dark world, which is a really realistic looking, non-green screened gateway into another world.
Yeah.
Stephen Dorff is just not hopping over a piece of plastic towards a green screen. It's definitely not what's happening.
No.
So they're going to like get ready to blow it up and leave. And then Stephen Dorff's like, oh shit, the detonator is not working.
He's like, let me run all the way back and provide some cover fire.
Yeah. He runs back and sets the timer for 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
So he's accepting he's going to die.
Correct. He does like a little like jump back and like jump on the floor.
But Uwe Boll was not accepting that he was going to die.
No, because like when that detonator goes off, that thing does go off.
Yeah, so it blows everything up. Like this is like one of those things where it blows up the room, but the fire travels through the tunnel and even shoots up out
of the exit way, which is into normal like up out of the actual underground.
Yes.
Where
the orphanage is located.
Correct, where the orphanage is located, where whatchamacallit, Christian Slater and Tara Reid are climbing out of the ladder into by the orphanage, out of the underground space. But Stephen Dorff is covered in there, and literally you even see like it looks like blasts of human pieces are coming out of the fucking tunnel.
But
like,
Stephen Dorff intact,
very alive,
very alive.
moving.
Why didn't you just kill Stephen? It had to be in Stephen Dorff's contract to not kill him in case there was a sequel.
There was no point not to kill him.
I know. It's
like he was
so
a character
weird.
destined for death.
Yeah, there's no reason to keep him alive. But then Christian Slater delivers the best line of all time when he gets out of the tunnel and they're at the orphanage and he's like, they were under us the whole time. Whole time.
Why does that fucking matter?
It doesn't.
Who fucking cares?
It literally doesn't matter at all.
What the fuck is going on?
It doesn't matter at all.
Show me a fucking Abkhani.
Because does that mean the orphanage children were stolen from the orphanage just into the cellar?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, they could have just put up.
There's just so many things that are unclear.
Yeah.
Like the scope is big, no detail whatsoever.
No, it's so.
That's the one in the dark. Like, it really is. It's tremendous scope with no information.
Yeah. So let's just wrap it up. They go into the orphanage and the nun has fucking committed.
Yeah.
She cut her
dead.
wrists.
Dead.
She's dead. And then they walk through the city and there's no one. But I don't even mean just as no one. There's no blood. There's no destruction. It's like everyone fucking vanished.
Well, it's the fucking prequel to I Am Legend.
Yeah.
And then there's that POV shot at the end.
Where it's just the camera chases Christian Slater and Tara Reid, and Christian Slater makes this like, yeah. And the movie ends.
Well, I mean, you assume that he's gonna get fucked. Well, probably not.
Don't even know.
He probably just fucking punches it and it dies.
But the thing is, though, like, is there creatures attacking? Because, like, wouldn't there be blood? Like, those creatures
Hutchins
ripped...
is very fucking dead. I don't know what's going on anymore.
No.
I don't know what these creatures are even after.
Because he's like, the Abkhani disappeared 10,000 years ago. We may have repeated the same thing today. It's like, bro, Stop.
No, nobody's good in this movie. This movie's horrible. Horrible.
And that's Alone in the Dark.
Alone in the Dark.
All right. Review time?
Why is it even called Alone in the Dark? I guess it's called like that because these creatures can't be seen.
Because I think they're...
But you don't know enough about how they operate besides that. They have no motivation. They have no goal. He's fucking implanting people with spines that may or may not turn into that. I have no idea.
That's the thing. I actually, like I said, I don't know the video game, so I don't know. This can't be faithful for the video game. I refuse to believe this is faithful to the video game.
I feel like this is like really like they tried to make this original.
Yeah.
And it's not.
And they just called it Alone in the Dark.
Bad idea.
So my review is a very simple. This may be one of the worst movies I've ever seen that went to movie theaters.
Yeah.
Like, House of the Dead was straight to video, right? I don't think it went to theaters.
I'm not. You might be right. I'm not.
And
sure.
like, we've seen trash worse than this, but all of it has been like straight to video. Yeah. Like, this was in theaters, man. Like, that's bad. Like, how? Like, can you imagine paying a full price ticket and like, this is what you're watching? It's so fucking boring.
The movie's an hour and 40, and it's a hard hour 40.
Yeah.
You hit like an hour, and you're like trying to like, all right, like,
let's speed this up.
To do. Like, you are. I'm actually like pausing the movie and like doing other shit, and I rarely do that.
Yeah.
I was like trying to like, all right, like
yeah.
I need to get through this.
Yeah.
It's just fucking a brutal hour 40.
Yeah. So like, I can't like. There's nothing to say because the movie does nothing right. Everything is bad. So, like, if you think of something that a movie offers, just know this one did it bad. So, I'm going to say this movie is a stone cold 1 out of 10.
Yeah. And you're not wrong. Have I ever given a 1 on this podcast before?
Yes. You just gave... I thought you gave something a 1.
I did on Final Friday. Not on this podcast. And I hate this because I gave it a 2. It really should be a 1. I actually do think it's better than House of the Dead. I know that sounds crazy because House of the Dead is definitely more watchable.
Yeah.
I think it's a better movie only because House of the Dead is more eventful.
Yes.
But they double down on their badness. This is just more like boring and bad.
Yeah.
This is more boring and bad, whereas House of the Dead is just bad and they want you to know how bad it is.
Right.
So, but it's really horrible. It's House of the Dead is definitely more watchable because it's hilarious. This movie's not hilarious, but just bad. It's a hard and long hour and 40. If I keep reiterating, the action sequences are garbage for 05. Like, oh my god, there are so many better movies. Fucking Transporter came out a couple years out. Like, there's so many better movies that came out around this time. Awful. And they put such time and emphasis for a movie like you said that went into the theaters. Because there's a lot of action sequences in this movie.
And they're boring.
And the story is fucking gutless. It literally does not give you any context.
No, it's terrible.
In depth into anything besides setting up a broad story about the Afghani. Too, but very, very, like, very low too.
Okay. This next part's going to be very hard.
Eulogy?
Just who are we even fucking putting in it?
I mean, the antagonist's death was the most uneventful thing of all time.
Yeah.
Like a Stephen Dorff, extremely accurate knife throw.
Like, if Stephen Dorff had died, this would be easy.
And I want to say, like, maybe, like...
John? Miles?
Maybe Miles, but like his death
was... What the fuck am I supposed to say about Miles? His death was
like they killed him and then like he died 20 seconds after they killed him?
Yeah.
I guess I would say Miles for me. Like, I don't know what else.
Well, it's not Hodgins. Fish,
the fucking bald guy in the beginning that gets fucking put through the pipe? For me, it's Miles, I guess.
Let's just do Miles. I don't care. I actually don't care.
Yeah, me neither, actually. You're right. I don't care. It's fucking bad.
Miles. You are in every single Uwe Boll movie. And I think you die in every single Uwe Boll movie.
Got weird sideburns.
Yeah. You're actually not terrible in the movie, I guess.
Not.
You do your job. You're a good second in command. Your death scene's atrocious because you get attacked by 2. I don't even know where they hit you or how you died. Just blood splatter. Can you explain it? No one can explain it, really.
Front and back, and he just fucking dies 10 seconds after they kill him.
Yeah, so fuck this movie. Welcome to the Necronomicon. So, Bri, I'm thinking next week we need a palate cleanse.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. We reviewed 2 Uwe Boll movies in 7 months. I'm fucking going out of my mind.
Yeah. So we're going to palate cleanse next week. We are going to review a movie fucking no one knows about, but we want you to know about because it is a banger. We are reviewing a 1982 film.
81.
81?
Yeah, I think so.
Sam Neill movie. Possession. And I had to specify who's in it in the year because there was a 2017, I think, movie called Possession.
Yeah.
Not that one. We were reviewing the 1981. It is considered a video nasty.
Is it really? What does that mean?
It's like movies that were like banned by certain countries.
Is it because of the kid death or is it because of the...
I have no idea.
The graphic It's really not...
It was banned in Britain. That's all I know. So they labeled it a video nasty.
I mean, it is on like... I guess people consider it like a fucking like a tough movie to watch, but like
this is the thing. I don't understand why this movie was banned.
There's a kid suicide in it, but like
that's not. It's not even graphic.
It's not.
And like, but yeah, it's considered a video nasty and it was banned in a few places. But it's an excellent movie, and I would definitely recommend people to watch it before we do the review.
This movie's fucking amazing. I definitely also would recommend before you watch our review to watch the movie. Good luck finding it.
Yeah.
Movie's lost the fucking time.
Yeah, you either gotta buy this shit or like illegally watch it somewhere.
And the director, honestly, this is a great job. His name is...
Yes.
He's got a weird name.
He does. So, I guess with that said, we are the Final Podcast signing off, and we will see you next week at a Subway abortion?
It's miscarriage.
Subway miscarriage.
Yeah. Wow. Alone in the Dark.
What a movie.
I didn't miss watching you. Fucking garbage. And I've seen this movie 4 times now. I think
sad, isn't it?
Horrible. So, fucking garbage. Follow us at www.thefinalpodcast.com. I could say to check out our Instagram at The Final Podcast. I could say check out our Facebook and Twitter at The Final Pod Ever. But just check out the website. And definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we just recently created. Final Podcast. It's pretty simple. And tune into our new show starring me, Shane, and my friend Mike G, Final Friday, where we review all low-budget horror movies. All of that, finalpodcast.com. Check it out. I will see you next Monday.
Bye-bye.